Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Tuesday special edition of Talking to Fast Lane. Tonight we have a very, very special guest. James Durbin is joining us tonight. Uh, him and his guys have a brand new album from the band called Cleanbreak. It's a brand new release called Coming Home. 11 incredible melodic rock songs. It's something that you're going to definitely enjoy, so I recommend grabbing a copy of that. And we have James backstage right now, so we're going to bring him on to discuss the brand new album and some of the other things he has going on. So, James, how are you tonight?
Please, no pictures. I'm great. How are you?
Hey, I snapped all the pictures already. That was all the backstage stuff.
Oh, screenshots. Oh, chiefing. Are my eyes right?
Yeah. I think I know mine are now. From that light hit me in the face.
Get some Visine. Yeah,
that's it. But I wanted to welcome you to the show. I wanted to thank you to for taking the time to sit with us here and discuss what I consider, like I told you backstage, my favorite melodic hard rock album, my top melodic hard rock album of 2022, Cleanbreak's Coming Home. It was released on Friday, July 8th, and I've seen it's been doing very well. Tell us a little bit about how this project came together, and how did you guys get started with this? How did this get started?
In 2019, December of 2019, I signed my deal with Frontiers Records. The original plan was, from the beginning, was for me to do a solo record, which ended up being Durbin the Beast Awakens, which I am working on a follow-up to that one right now. And then after that would be Frontiers and myself putting together a sort of, for lack of a better term, super group. I mean, I can use that term because of Mike Flint on guitar, Perry Richardson on bass, Robert Sweet on drums, and Alessandro Del Vecchio on everything else. And here I am humbly on vocals over here. And just blessed beyond belief to, at the magnitude of talent and musicianship that is on display and that I get to, be a part of and share in. It's very humbling.
It is. It's a great record, and I wanted to ask you the name of the band. Cleanbreak, the project called Cleanbreak, and it's called Coming Home. Is that anything that represents kind of like your, it just seems like your niche, and like you're right on, man. You're in your groove, and it's it seems like it's something that you really wanted to do. How did that come about, and is that something that you wanted to, really direct yourself toward this style? And you have, like you said, a powerhouse band behind you right now.
Yeah, after doing Durbin the Beast Awakens, that entire process, that was all me. That was all my idea, conception, everything, every lyric, every melody, every riff, every rhythm. Everything, and that was a lot. The artwork, I designed the logo. I did all the album design. I did it all manually myself, and in Photoshop and everything. And my wife is a photographer, so she did that. And like, we were in the pandemic doing all of that,
Right.
And I had been independent for a while, with the exception of as an independent artist, but as like a independent contractor with Quiet Riot. And like, so I knew how to do all of that
Right.
from having the experience doing it. So like, to go from that and to be like, go into Frontiers is like, come here, come to Papa. We'll make it all better. We'll do it this time. And we'll hire the musicians. We'll set up the, everything. You need songs, we'll get you songs. I wrote a few songs for the album, and then they got me some songs, and we're not going to give you as much money, but here you go. We're still going to take care of you. You're a precious boy, or a precious boy. And and then they're going to handle the album artwork and everything, and the manufacturing and all that stuff.
That's
all
nice.
of it. It's just like, oh, yeah. And who do I get to play with? I get to play with Mike Flint. I get to play with Perry Richardson, Robert Sweet, and
Right.
Alessandro. Like, oh yeah, this is great. I get to record in my home studio. Oh yeah, this is great. I get to, like, in between songs, go hold my baby girl and and our other kids, and my wife, and it's just like, it's just like all of it, every part of it has just been such a great experience. And now to have the record and the music in people's ears and eyes and hands, because we have CDs, and
Right.
this album's going to be released on vinyl in the winter. Very excited about that.
Fantastic.
Very excited
I
about
got
that.
my copy. I know that.
Right on. Hell yeah. And just, yeah, seeing it do things. Like, I'm just happy where I'm at musically and artistically and creatively, and where Frontiers has given me a place to put that and, you know, drive that creative energy to, and
Right.
and a home for it. And you know, it is, I mean, in essence, I wrote the song Cleanbreak, which is what we named the band after. And that song is, it's been inspired by personal events and just things, in many different cases, and bringing them all together and, like, giving it a name and just saying that, like, the song is like, just, you need to take a clean break of things. It's a
Right.
wrestling term.
Right.
You know, it's like a stalemate, so you gotta clean break, and that's okay. It's okay if you're at a stalemate with something and
Right.
nothing's going in either direction. It's okay to just be like, yeah, can I
Let it go.
swear? I can't swear.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah,
Fuck it. Let's just, you know, if this isn't working, let's go figure something else out.
Right.
It's who is it? Shel Silverstein, or is it Roald Dahl? No, Shel Silverstein, The Missing Piece, the children's book. But he wrote Looking for Pussy for Dr. Hook. So, you know, and he wrote books. But yeah, there you go. Yeah. Where was I?
You know what's cool? I bet you that was, like you said, that was a great relief for you. I mean, you got to go into, your home studio. They had everything set up for you, and really, I mean, I consider you a fantastic vocalist. I mean, I think that's, you're
Thank you.
looking right
Thank
here,
you.
everybody that's listening. This guy is the next generation. I mean, he's taken the next step, and you guys, and you've really done it with this record. I mean, I'm talking about the songwriting and the and the vocals that you put into it. There's so much diversity. What was it? What was it like to write this? I mean, with Alessandro involved and all of that, because he's fantastic. I mean, this guy, the things that he does, for the label and the artist. What was that like to write with him?
Oh, just what he does constantly. I got to work with, the first time I got to work with Alessandro was actually in person. And where I actually met him for the first time was in Milan when I was there with Quiet Riot in like 2018, to film and record a live album, which was One Night in Milan.
Right.
It was for the Frontiers Rock Festival, and which was where I met Robert and Perry for the very first time, as it was Perry's very first show with Stryper.
Wow.
Yeah, and yeah, we played right before them, and it was funny. Alex Grassi finished the show, our Quiet Riot set, and threw his pick out into the audience, and then people wanted an encore, and we always encored with AC/DC's Highway to Hell. And Alex had to go borrow a pick from Michael Sweet, a John, or I forget it's Isaiah. I can't remember the code, not the code, the book and the chapter, but it was a Bible verse pick, and he used it to play Highway to Hell. It's kind of funny, but
Yeah, that's
it was like, this is, oh boy,
it's a little different.
Yeah, it was funny. Well, it was fitting. that song would have, that song was a perfect background track to what would happen after the concert. But that's another story for another day. But working with Alessandro, he played keyboards with us on Thunderbird, which was the first time, I believe, the first time that keyboards have ever, or piano had ever been played live on Thunderbird. It was only on the record,
Right.
on Metal Health, and which was really cool to be a part of that. And Alessandro did a little bit of mastering work on The Beast Awakens, and I had expressed interest in working with him, and then I had said that to him. I had said that to Frontiers, and lo and behold, it was pretty cool to get that email of like, all right, we want to put together. It was basically all in one email from Frontiers. Was like, okay, we want to put together the band project. What do you think of Perry Richardson and Robert Sweet? Let's talk about guitar players, and then we exchange like several emails and settled. Had Mike Flint's of like, oh, the shining beacon, and which, oh god, so much I can say about him.
It's an amazing lineup.
Incredible guitar player and performer, and yeah, it was just like getting to work with Alessandro. The songwriting I knew, the production I knew, the engineering, the mixing, everything, background vocals, his piano work. There's on the Japanese release of the album, there's a bonus track which is it says acoustic version of Coming Home, of the single, right, but it's just Alessandro's piano and my vocal, and it's my favorite. Nice. It's my favorite track in the whole album. There's so much room. It's right, like, as far as like recordings go, it's like my favorite recording of the last however many years I can figure, because there's just like, it's just what he plays on piano as it would relate to what Mike plays on guitar. It's right, the same, but it's different. It's so different. It's just it gives it a different, it gives you a different feeling listening to Coming Home after listening to the acoustic version. So I have the raw tracks, and I'm going to be doing a one take vocal video on my YouTube channel, and actually we'll probably put it on the Frontiers channel nice, in the coming month or so. Yeah,
I'm looking forward to that.
So yeah, I'm like, they always. Why do my favorite songs always get put on, only for the Japanese available album? It's happened many times. It's very funny.
Hey, maybe they'll put it on the vinyl. I mean, I'm sure
that'd be great. I hope they do.
So, hey guys, if you're listening, make sure you put that on the album. I mean, the fans.
Yes, please. I'm gonna write an email.
Do them another favor. That's it.
Yes. Do us all a favor and put that out, because it's just, yeah. Yes, please.
Well, we talked about this, this lineup on this album. I mean, Perry, Robert on drums, and Mike on guitar. What's it like working with those guys as a group? I mean, you got a powerful rhythm section, and you have a guitarist there that's, he might not be as well known as a lot of these other guys, but this guy's incredible. He fit the band perfectly, and your vocals over top of that. I mean, it's a gem to me. I mean, I think it's an incredible album.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, really, the work that I did with them was done on the video shoot. We exchanged a couple emails during the recording of the album and even the writing. Mike wrote a couple songs with Alessandro through, email and files. And then I wrote Before the Fall and Cleanbreak and co-wrote Dream Forever. And so Dream Forever was done with just a couple emails, a couple different revisions and versions of things, and rewrites. And yeah, Before the Fall and Cleanbreak, I wrote those and demoed them like I would if I was doing it for, Durbin. Right. And I wrote some like placeholder solos and that sort of thing, of just like, absolutely, this is just here for filler, just so you understand this is a solo. And
Right.
Not good, in my opinion, not good. But Mike took my guitar parts, I'll call them, and he integrated them into his solo. He integrated them into the song. He kept
Nice.
like the integrity of, he saw the integrity and heard the integrity of what I did, and used it and played with it. Not like exactly, but like some of it, yeah. It's like listening to it, I'm like, oh my God. And then he goes, oh, whoa. It's like the very first time I listened to it, the very first time I listened to the Masters was the very first time that I heard these songs. I did I record? No. I recorded my vocals to mainly like mixes that weren't finished.
Right.
So my first time hearing, everything was my first time hearing everything. So, and just I think about that so often. I think about that when I'm listening to it, of like, I want to feel that again. I want to feel that again. I want to know what love is.
That's it.
That
had to be an incredible feeling for you, though. I mean, they hear that the first time, and then they say, "Wow, man, you knocked it out of the park."
It's we all did. We all did. I will accept that. Thank you. I will accept that on behalf of everyone.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I felt really good having done The Beast Awakens. I felt really good with how that turned out, and what we did, and what I built, and what I created and wrote, and everything. And that's really, really special to me, because it was such a singular effort, so much of it. And then getting to share that with people and getting to bring friends into it once it was like ready, was awesome. And I can't wait to do that again. But having done that and then getting to do what became Cleanbreak, it's just like, it's like double, it's like,
right.
It's just like, I don't know. I just look at, I don't set an expectation for things. This is a big thing that I've learned. I do not set expectations, because if I set an expectation, the likelihood that the outcome is less than what I expected is pretty great. So because if you set expectations, usually your expectations are high.
Right.
If you're being realistic about something. So I really try to have zero expectation and just be like, I did it. We did it. We're done with it. And, I've had to sit on this album for 3-4 months or so, maybe longer. And since hearing the Masters. And so, yeah, it's a trip. It really is a trip in that sense. But like, not setting an expectation with Durbin, not setting an expectation with Cleanbreak, and then just seeing like, whoa, people like it. People enjoy it. People are, some people hate it. So it's like, it's whatever. It's like, I did it. What's the outcome going to be? Some people are going to like it. Some people aren't. It's not for them, but it still is like, I try to look at like the gratitude side of like, even if somebody listened to it and they were like, oh, hell no, that's not for me. You listen to it. And I thank you. Like, it's just the opportunity, to have an opportunity to continue to play music and have something, or a name, or a album cover, or a artwork, or a music video, or anything that like might catch somebody's eye or ear for a moment. It's just like, cool. Job well done. Job well done. So, I mean, but the real mana, the real, the real pay is the people that love it and connect with it and gel with it and vibe and want more. Because I want more. I want to make more Durbin records and more Cleanbreak records and even more projects and things on Frontiers Records. Singers I want to sing with, guitar players whose albums I want to sing on. Like, there's so many possibilities, and I'm just stoked to have a place to explore that. And with my papa, my papa, Frontiers, my papa. Yeah, and yeah. We'll see where that gets me. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to help or hinder, but
I think
it feels good. I think they'll feel the love. It's all well meant.
well, I think when they see how good this is going to do, they're going to be inviting you to everything. I mean, you're going to be singing for hopefully everybody, whoever you want to deal with,
And I
that
do.
happen.
I do want to. So yeah, I'm just staying happy and humble and positive and and all that.
That's a great thing. On this record, we talked about it earlier, the diversity. I mean, there's a lot of different tracks on here, a lot of different
Mm-hmm.
moods. And I think what's one of the cool things on it is you look at two different songs, and I have them here. You could hear the Rob Halford influence on Cleanbreak, which I think is awesome. I mean, the high notes and you could tell that's in your wheelhouse. But then you also have a song like the Man of Older Soul, and I hear a lot of Michael Sweet in that, and some Striper feel in that, and I just think that's really really great, and really a lot of kudos to you to be able to do, one type of style in a Halford, and then Michael Sweet here, and then interject your style into this. It's just good. What is like what are some of your influences? You know, going into this record, and even some of the other things that you've done. Who are your influences?
I mean, I don't know. I have every influence. I'm like trying to say it like eloquently, but like I like everything. I can be influenced by anything, really. I can find something in anything. Got to be something in everything. There's only 12 notes, okay? So there's something for you in everything. It's mathematically impossible for there not to be.
Right.
Whether you're willing to find out or not, that's a different story.
That's it. How deep do you want to dig, huh?
Yes. And so I don't know, with this album and with my music in general, it's like I can only go so far with what can I bring to this that is of influence? What can I like bring to it that is consciously influenced by something?
Right.
Or then it's like you can only go so far with that. So I get to a certain point where I'm just like, pick up a guitar, pick a key, start playing something,
Right.
and then put something different over it.
and
and explore it. And usually I end up with something different and I don't know, unique in its own, but it's also inspired, but it's not like intentionally inspired.
Right.
That's not even a part of it when I'm doing it, so it's like, yeah. And then I figure out what is it inspired by, and what does it relate to, and is it different enough, and if need be. So yeah, I don't know, it's if you're aware of other people doing something similar, then you're going to be more like, oh, can't go there. But
Right.
there's so much out there. And I listen to stuff and I'm like, is this good that I'm listening to this, or is this not good that I'm listening to this? Because then I'm gonna be like, oh shit, they already did it. Like,
Then you got to change.
I'll be like, oh, this is bitching, but then, damn it, nope, already been done, and I know it. And then it's like, can't do it. So, yeah, there's been cases of, I mean, there's so many freaking songs out there. There's been cases of like, I read a song or I sing on a song or anything, and then like that comes out, and then it's like, oh, it sounds like this song. It's like, yeah, it does sound like that song. Or that song sounds like this song. If I had no idea that song existed, it's yeah.
And then people find it and nitpick, little.
Oh, you
like
go
that
from
to
D
say,
flat to F. People are going to talk about it.
Hey, I do have to bring up the American Idol and what you did on that show. I mean that, you know, uh, we watched it, back then. I mean it was, and I wasn't an Idol fan at all until maybe around that season, and then and I saw you on there, doing what you do, and I said, man, this is my guy right here, doing the hard rock, the metal, and just everything that you did on there. We voted for you and did all that.
Thank you.
What was that experience like for you, James? I mean, that's a great launching pad, and it really did a lot, for you from for us as fans. I mean, to see, hey, look, this guy really's got what it takes. What was that like, and what was the the launch like coming out of American Idol?
Well, the launch was just astronomical. It was crazy. It was stratospheric. And just being a part of all that also was like, when you watch from home, when you think about auditioning, when you think about getting into it, when you think about, and manifest what you want to happen, there's no way to actually know, because once you get there, it's everybody's experience is unique to them. It's I don't have the same experience as anybody else on my season or anything, because you have a different, like, it's just a different equation. You have a different vocal coach, you have a different stylist, you have a different producer that you work with in the studio, you have a different producer that you gel with, that produces the actual show itself. You're tight with different people. It's different, everybody's experience. But mine was positive. It was great. I loved everybody I got to work with, and like the experience of it all. I'm still learning from it. I don't think that I'll ever learn everything that I can from that experience. And it's harder to, it's easier and it's harder, because some of it's harder to remember, but it's easier to see the lessons in the mistakes that I made, or the things that I can, look at and be like, oh, that was rough.
Yeah,
maybe we won't talk about that family anymore. Yeah. I mentioned something about Michael Jackson, or what did I say? Ryan Seacrest came up to me and was like, "Oh, you use a lot of hairspray to keep your hair up like that, good, and all this fire and pyro around you. What went into your head when you were thinking about that?" And I was like, "Oh, well," and forgetting I was on national television saying something stupid like on a live microphone in front of 40 million people. I was just making, hoping that I didn't have like a Pepsi moment, if you know what I mean.
Right.
And meaning Michael Jackson did the music video for Pepsi, the commercial, and his pyro and his hair lit on fire.
Right.
To me, I was like, pop culture reference,
There you
and
go.
to Michael Jackson's father, it was like, fuck that kid. So TMZ and Joseph Jackson actually, put out like a statement about my statement.
Oh man.
Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, this is, but it's also is like, I don't know. It was so like, I don't know. It was so immature, but it's also like, for me, for like the level of fan of Michael Jackson that I was growing up,
Right.
like I impersonated Michael Jackson. I performed Michael Jackson's music. I wasn't one of those kids, but I performed his music. Yeah, I performed his music in middle school for the talent show, all sorts of things. And to then say something that would offend his father, of all people, it's like,
right.
Whoa, full circle.
He noticed you, so that's cool.
Yeah, it was in a negative way, but still, I notice him in a negative way as well. So it's mutual.
That's it.
Yeah.
When you came out of American Idol and you started to get into some of your releases, and the Memories of a Beautiful Disaster, I think is a great album. I mean, you listen to songs like Higher Than Heaven is one of my favorites. What was that? What was that like? Because it had a different feel, than some of the stuff
Mhm.
now. I mean, you had that modern style back then. What was that like writing that, and how did that transfer into what things that you're doing right now?
Yeah, especially like a song like Higher Than Heaven. I wrote Higher Than Heaven with James Michael, singer of 6 a.m., and Marty Fredrickson, I believe. Yeah, I believe it was the two of them. And this was like my first songwriting session right after I. So I don't think, no, I had done like co-writes with bands that I was in, but this was different. This was like in like a, beautiful house in the Hollywood Hills. Um, and with, I ate guacamole for the first time. Like, it was
There you
like,
go.
it was great. It was awesome.
They treated
And,
you right.
yeah, yeah, and just working with James Michael, who's like a musical hero, and then also with Marty Fredrickson, who is a legend. Um, I just it was so cool. It was so cool to like I was involved in the songwriting session. The lyrics were from inspired by my life and stuff, and my relationship with my wife, and like it's it's crazy looking back on it of like, oh, there was that was so cool, like
Yeah,
these
the
these
guacamole,
like
yeah.
guacamole, oh my god, guacamole, oh my god, guacamole. James who, Marty what, and then to get the song that we got out of it, and then I hit up my buddy Dylan and was like, hey, do you want to play a solo on this? And he did, and it's like, that's the solo. It's my buddy Dylan,
Nice.
who also played on Durbin, The Beast Awakens. He played on By the Horns. That's his solo. And
Great song.
he played on something else too, on Memories of a Beautiful Disaster. He played no, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I'll never tell.
You got to
I forget.
find out. That's it.
I was about to give a
Yes.
scoop, secret that I can never reveal. But yeah. But yeah, like that style, especially with Higher Than Heaven, is like, and writing with other people, and that whole album, like I didn't contribute to it as much as I do for my current stuff. But the similar thing with Cleanbreak album is that it was similar in that sense, as like I didn't contribute as much with this record as far as songwriting goes, because I had just done an entire record myself, and was kind of like, you know, creatively drained, but did write Before the Fall and Cleanbreak, and co-write Dream Forever. But yeah, just like that experience, that part of it. Yeah, like, I said, this Cleanbreak record was so easy. It was the easiest record I've ever done. It
And that's
really
great.
was, and just, yeah, it's like, why make things difficult when you can make things easy? It's pretty great.
It's,
So
and
it's pretty great. Yeah.
it gives you a lot of freedom as an artist too. I mean, like you said, they took care of a lot of it. You got to do it in your home studio, and you could just really go out there, and be yourself. And I could
Yeah, I
see
mean,
that in you.
they didn't give me notes, for like sing it this way or don't sing it that way after, sending in my vocals. It was like, these sound killer. It was like, there you go. And
Right?
that's great. I love it. They let the artist be the artist, which is, that's what you want, right? You know,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly.
It's pretty sweet. It's pretty damn cool.
So what's it like you said, the coming out of Quiet Riot? I mean, you're in that band situation where you, like you said, you're kind of like the hired guy, so to
Hmm.
speak. What's it like
Oh,
coming out of
definitely.
the
Absolutely, to speak. We were all, independent contractors. That's, I mean, all the bands do it. I believe
right?
Vince
Right.
Neil is independently contracted into Motley Crue.
Yeah, they have some kind of crazy setup where it's. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, yeah.
So to come out of a situation like that and then into your solo stuff, that there has to be a relief to you as a songwriter, as a performer, to really say, I'm not in those confines. I'm able to just go in and do that. Like an album like Beast Awakens, which is just it's incredible. I mean, it's heavy, but it's melodic, but it also has it's you, and I think that's what I definitely see from your early stuff, to where you are now. I know the voice now, and I know the music now, and I say, hey, that's James Durbin.
Mhm.
So that has to feel good, to you as an artist.
It definitely does. It was great to take that chance on myself, and just, I mean, it's the circumstances. That album is the circumstances,
Right.
because I was gonna try to write it much like the Cleanbreak record ended up being. I was gonna write some. I was gonna write some with other people and let other people write some. And so like then the pandemic hit, and then I was home with my guitar, with my Lore full hollow body, and which I wrote and demoed the entire Durbin album on that guitar, and just felt it and found it and cultivated it and farmed it and loved it. And it's just really freaking cool that that's the outcome of all that work,
Right.
and inspiration, and confinement, like to be able to look back on that, like not just that. My wife and I, we made a human, so we also did that
Congratulations.
during the
Congratulations,
pandemic.
Steve.
Thank you. She's one now, so like we did that, and I made a record. So like we made two babies. So it's like, Millie, this is your brother. The Beast Awakens.
It's a
Basically.
perfect year, yeah. And coming
Yeah.
out of COVID, I mean, what better outcome could you have coming out of a situation like that? And that's great. I mean, because you know what more can you ask for?
Right. Exactly. Yeah. Not much. Not much. Happiness. Happiness.
Yeah.
Creative freedom. Happiness. Joy. Zero stress. It's
That's big right there.
Yeah, that's a big one. I mean, I lost a lot of my hair due to stress from 2017 to 2019, and a lot of it before then too. But yeah, even more. So it's that shaved my head recently, and thinking that it was going to be less maintenance than having receding hair. And it's not. It's more. It's funny. Yeah, it's like, damn, now I got to go through growing it out, making it all weird,
and then
there's
the
some and
and
not
then the
some other.
shaving aspect of it. Maybe you could pick up an endorsement right there.
I
Hey,
cut my head when I tried doing it, so I had it straight razor shaved 2 weeks ago, and it's like this long already. It's weird. It's the most my hair has ever grown. It's like trying to not have hair. Yeah,
it's happy now.
it's
The album's
inconvenient.
released.
Yeah. Yeah, no, right, exactly. It's stimulated. It's like, whoo, wow, hey, here we are. Hey,
Here it
we're
is, man.
up,
Let's
we're
go.
up, we're up. Yeah, keep climbing, climb.
Hey, what do you see out there as an artist? I mean, you're starting to become established right now. Like I said, I think you're the guy, one of the guys that's carrying the torch now for the guys that I grew up with. And it's really great to hear you doing that. What are you seeing right now as far as hard rock and metal and that scene? Is you starting to see a growth there? You're starting to see younger fans coming in and really what do you see as the future of hard rock and metal?
I don't know, and I don't think I'm the right person to ask, because I'm not really like, I don't really pay attention to it
Right.
at all. I have no idea. I have zero idea. I am so like zoned into just creating that I'm like, I don't look at the analytics. I don't look at any of that. I'm just like, Papa, you gonna do that too? Yeah, and
Yeah.
Papa's doing it. So it's yeah, it's pretty cool. I don't know. Hopefully good things. I mean, there's so many albums that come out in all genres, and there's no way to know all of them or see all of them or hear even a very small percentage of them. Like it's bonkers every single day. Like 100 albums at least are released.
Exactly.
So, think of how many times the same song's been written. And
That's
you,
right.
and you never know, or do you? It's
That's right.
yeah, it's pretty trippy. So, I mean, I really don't know. I look at the fact that I was on American Idol in 2011, and the things that I've done, and the things that have happened for me, and that I've earned, and that I've lost, and that I've reached for and fallen and dusted myself up and got back up and tried again and achieved and realized this wasn't really what I wanted. And then like done that over and over and over. Like, and I'm still have done things to end up here where I'm with a label again after like 10 years, more than 10 years of not being with a label.
Right.
And no, that doesn't add up. Fuck it. 5 years
It's
without
close.
5 years without being on a label. And then being on a label and being with a great label and a label that believes in me and gives me the opportunity to do really cool shit. And like it's hallelujah. I'm I don't know, I'm uplifted. It's been great. It continues to be great, and there's no reason that I can foresee that gives me any reason to believe that it won't continue to be great. So I'm just really stoked for the blessings that have continued to manifest.
Right, and it's well deserved. I mean, it's good to to talk to somebody that's positive and sees it that way. I mean, especially with the way life is. I mean, it gets to be, like you said, the stress and the things that you have to deal with. But being positive and seeing that come out of you, and it comes out of your music too. I mean, it really does.
Well, thank you. I mean, I think it's life is what you make it. Life, you will believe, if you believe in something, you believe it.
Right.
It's hard to have your opinion be swayed for anything. So, but it's don't let your opinion be swayed by others. Sway your own opinion, or have
Right.
zero opinion. Like, have zero expectation, have zero opinion. Just if it doesn't concern you, don't have an opinion on it. That's the way like I live my life.
Yeah, let it go. Yeah.
Yeah, or don't seek it or reach for it in the first place.
Right.
Yeah. And if I have to have an opinion on something, then I usually side with the most equal, and in all things, in just business and working with people, and just being easygoing and calm, and realizing that you can either look at life as being short, or you can look at life as being long. You can look at there not being enough time, or you can look at there being so much time. You can
Right.
look at the glass as half empty or half full, or you could just see a glass with water in it. It doesn't matter the
Right.
level of the water. It's just a glass with water. Is it even
Right.
glass? Is it plastic?
Right.
Who fucking cares? It's a vessel with with
Something in it. Yeah.
with an abundance of something. And that's what we are as human beings. When you look at it, we are we have the opportunity to find things that we love and to be passionate about those things, and you don't have to do something that you hate. You don't.
Right.
And if what
You
you
got the choice.
if you hate what you once loved, and you can't see yourself not doing that thing, it's okay to start over. It's okay to start over. Like, in anything, it's okay to start
Right.
over. In music, in life, and in love, and death, and and all things of like, just all right, clean slate. Not everything. Not everything. There's some things that are unredeemable.
That's right.
There's
Right.
there's some assholes that are unredeemable, but you had multiple chances. So
Right. Right. So
yeah.
now that the album's released and you're moving forward, what's next for James Durbin? I mean, what's the I know that you want this album to be huge and everything that you do, and I know this one is. I mean, this is an excellent piece of melodic hard rock right here, man. This is 11 songs, and I can't say enough good things about it. We don't have enough time on this show
Thank you.
to let that out.
Well, thank you. I'm, like I said, I'm very blessed and grateful for the opportunity to continue to make music and make a living doing music. And it's not just recording albums. It's performing shows and I perform a lot. Whether I post about it or not, I'm always performing and always working. I'm always working. So my whole philosophy has always been to be a working musician and support myself, support my family, and I don't have an option to stop. That's not even ever on the table of stopping supporting myself and supporting my family,
Right.
and being that. So you just gotta get shit done. But it's pretty cool to have the opportunity again to make this album with Mike and Perry and Robert and Alessandro and Frontiers and everybody that contributed to it from a songwriting perspective. It's just great. It's really awesome with Durbin. I'm working on a follow-up to The Beast Awakens. I already have album art.
Oh, nice.
I have no songs, but I have the album. I have the cover, and
hey, you've had experience in that, I think.
yeah, I mean, dude, I've had the cover of Durbin 2, as I'm calling it for now, for and a potential title, but that I think I'm gonna go with something else. But since before The Beast Awakens was even finished being written, so I feel like I want to do that more than anything. But I'm having my Durbin logo reimagined and redesigned right now. And it's so fucking cool. I'm so stoked on it. I'm so happy with the logo. It's so rad.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited that it's no longer just kind of flat and round, and I designed the original Durbin logo, so I still have a affection when I look at it, but it's just kind of like, oh. It's like, look at my logo when it was a baby. Oh. And
now it's growing up.
Now I look at it, I'm like, yeah, it's a fucking logo and a metal band. Yeah. I got my metal band logo. Yeah, that's my name. Yeah. It's so cool. I love it.
That's cool. That's really cool. How about any last words, James? I mean, anything to
any last words?
Oh, last words. Yeah.
My life. Breathe. Stop for a moment. Don't blink. Gosh. Well, I mean, as I say to my fans every time, peace, love, and heavy metal. And beyond that, thank you. Fans keep supporting music, supporting artists. The artists continue to get to make music. So it's the circle of life. We can't do it without you, and
we can't listen without you. That's the thing.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, like you said.
It's a relationship. It's a marriage of sorts. It's a marriage. Yeah.
But we really wish you the best with with this album, coming home and everything that that you do, man. I think you're really kicking some ass. I mean, it's with the vocals that you're doing and the music that you're writing, you're setting a precedent now. And I just want to see you continue to grow. I'm gonna be a fan forever. You got me forever. So whatever you release, man, I get the word out there, spread the word, and I want to say thank you too, for doing such a great thing and giving us your art. I mean, it's really appreciative, from a fan's perspective, from me. I mean, I listen, if I have a bad day, I know that I can throw this in and it just makes me happy. It just changes everything. And I'm grateful for that, for all you guys that do that. I appreciate it, more than you never know.
Thank you. That's very, very appreciated and humbling. I always put it back to humble. It's because it's as long as I have that mindset, it's like I can honestly feel like energy and just feel satisfaction and acceptance even, and yeah, all sorts of things. It's very very appreciated, and it's something that this feeling and being able to accept that feeling is something that I wish that more people could understand and feel. And just like it's the power of just telling somebody that they did something for you that you appreciate. If anything, like I say somebody that's mopping floors in an airport bathroom, like, I know this is a thankless job, thank you, and I walk away and I like can feel like the energy deposit,
Right.
and then I'm like oh, it's like, oh, I did it, but what it might do for him, and it's just like, oh, cool, all right, right on. It's the same
That is
thing.
cool.
It's just passing on good positive vibes. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm the guy with the mop in the bathroom of no, am I or
with a
if
microphone in hand too.
with microphone in hand,
That's
and somewhere else mentally. Yeah, that's me.
Well, James, thanks for joining us, man. I mean, I really appreciate you having on. I'd love to have you back on again. When you have some things coming out, the new
Definitely.
Durbin record, and you got our support, man. We love you. We love this record. New Cleanbreak coming home. Fantastic album, 11 songs. Get it, Frontiers Records. We'll be supporting it on our social pages. JamesDurbinOfficial.com. There it is, man. You got to have it. Get it on CD. Get it on vinyl. Get it on digital. Whatever you go and whatever you listen to, just get out there and get it, man.
Awesome. Thank you, Johnny. Appreciate
All right,
you,
James.
brother.
Take care, man. Have a good night, brother.
Bye.
Thank you. James Durbin, everybody. I want to thank everybody for listening in. Get the new album, Cleanbreak, coming home. Fantastic piece of melodic hard rock. I mean, if you like melodic hard rock like I do, you're going to enjoy this one. It's 11 straight songs, and there's nothing to all killer, no filler. It's the way it should be. So next week we'll be announcing another guest talking to Fastlane Wednesday night, looking at 8 o'clock. So we'll surprise you with that one. Be announcing it probably early next week. So I want to thank everybody for joining us, everybody for their support, and have a good rest of the week.